So I've been living in my own AI server for a month now, completely off the grid from ChatGPT, Gemini, or those SaaS AIs. And the funny thing is, actually setting up the AI on your server was the easiest part. Hermes agent, DeepSeek API, a clean cloud server. You just talk to it and it deploys itself. The hard part is how you use it. I mean, when I'm out in the field, I used to literally SSH into my server from my phone, Termux on Android. Sitting on the train in public while everyone else is scrolling on normal apps, I'm over here typing commands into a terminal on a 6-inch screen, which, as you can imagine, it was not particularly sustainable. So I needed something that works everywhere. Phone, laptop, desktop, all synced. Something that can push notifications to me, not just sit there and waiting for me to ask. Something that can handle emails, voice, PDFs, and renders Markdown properly. Basically, I wanted the ChatGPT experience but connected to my own AI. I started with Line. Because I'm in Japan, Line is what people use. But the Line bot setup is... You need a business account, you need to go to their developer portal, you need Cloudflare for webhooks. There's like 7 steps, and if any of them goes wrong, you're googling error message in Japanese. And after all that, I finally had a working bot. Sending my first message, watched it come back, and then realized it just doesn't render Markdown. Your AI can write the most beautiful structured response and comes out as a flat wall of text. Completely unusable. Then I tried Discord. Desktop experience is fine, but on mobile, it just doesn't feel right for this. It's designed for communities, not for one-on-one conversations with your AI. The friction is just a little too high. So I asked my AI what I should use, and it just said, try Telegram. I never used Telegram before. I was skeptical. In my head, it was just a bare-bones messaging app, nothing fancy. But I was completely wrong. First of all, the setup was genuinely stupid simple. You find Botfather, you type like 2 lines, it gives you a token, you paste that into Hermes agent, and that's it. No webhooks, no certificates, no Cloudflare, 2 minutes, and you're done. After I got the basic bot running, I realized something important. A single bot in a single chat window is just a low-rent CLI. Every conversation is in one thread. To get a fresh context, you type /new. It's linear, it's messy, and it doesn't scale. I wanted something more like ChatGPT's interface, different conversations for different topics, each with its own context, none of them interfering with each other. And Telegram had this feature where you can create a group, add your bot as an admin, and then enable topics. Suddenly, every new topic is an independent conversation window with its own context. To talk about new project, you create a new topic. To debug some code, you create another topic. Everything stays clean and separate. So at this point, I had basically rebuilt the ChatGPT experience on my own server through Telegram. It was clean, organized, and it worked. But Hermes Agent goes way deeper. In Hermes Agent, you can actually create multiple profiles. Each profile is completely independent, with its own personality, its own system prompt, its own memory, its own toolset. You create a bot for each profile, add each bot to its own Telegram group, and suddenly you have multiple specialized AIs living in your Telegram. Let me show you my setup. I had a default bot that handles everything day to day. A finance bot runs on a first principles framework and switches personality depending on the market cycle. A truth verification bot that uses a 3-agent isolation architecture. 1 agent searches, 1 verifies, 1 audits. A YouTube content bot that helps me plan and research videos. And an inbox bot that isn't even connected to an LLM. It's just a Python script that takes whatever I send and saves it into a file. No questions asked and replies with the check mark. Now, ChatGPT has something similar with projects. You can create a project, set a system prompt, and have multiple conversations inside it. Great idea, but in practice, ChatGPT ignores the system prompt half the time. The longer the system prompt, the more it ignores. I've been paying for ChatGPT since it was still a green icon. I've seen this play out. It's an expensive employee who does the bare minimum. The project system prompt is more of a suggestion than a rule, and here's why. ChatGPT runs on subscription, so you pay a fixed fee every month. Every token it saves is profit for them, so it is aggressively incentivized to be lazy. It skips reading your files, it ignores your system prompts, it does the shortest path to an answer that sounds plausible. You can fight it, force it, but it always defaults to saving compute. Self-hosted Hermes agent on API billing works exactly the opposite way. DeepSeek charges per token, so the more my AI reads, writes, thinks, and searches, the more it costs me. But for me, the result is that it has zero incentive to cut corners. If I tell it to read every single node in my knowledge base, it reads every single node. If I give it a detailed system prompt, it follows it. Sometimes it even does more than I asked. So now, Telegram has more depth for a self-hosted AI than ChatGPT does, on every platform, all synced, and with proper context management. About media support, I don't use voice much. You send a voice message, Hermes agent transcribes it with Whisper. You can even send voice replies if you set up TTS. Images work too. I use Gemini's image API as a fallback, since DeepSeek doesn't have vision yet. PDFs, documents, just send them through the chat, and the agent figures out how to read them. Then there's the push notifications. This is the part where it makes it feel alive. I set up a cron job that pings my server every morning at 7 AM, checks the system health, and sends me a report. Another cron job reads through all my conversations from the previous day, all topics and all bots, and compiles them into a daily digest. By the time I wake up, I have a summary of everything I worked on, everything I discussed, everything I learned. I look forward to reading it. This is actually worth a whole separate video because setting it up properly took some iterations. The best part is that since everything runs on my server, my AI can access my entire knowledge base. I moved all my nodes to my server. My AI can search through them, reference them, connect ideas between them. No uploading files to some web interface. No worrying about whether the AI actually read the file, because on ChatGPT, you know it probably didn't. And the cost. Let me break this down because I think this is where it gets interesting. Hermes agent is free. Cloud server, I paid about $10 a month. It can go as low as 6. DeepSeek API, I spent maybe 100 yuan a month, about $14. But I personally burn through tokens like crazy. I'm having my AI read through thousands of my nodes, build multiple programs alongside, and just do heavy lifting all day. If I had stuck with ChatGPT's $20 subscription, the codex hours would run out in no time, and I'd be staring at the reset timer. I really hated that, waiting for the limit to be reset. And if I was paying Claude's API rates at this volume, I would have genuinely gone bankrupt. On DeepSeek, with the cost of the online server added, it ends up comparable to a ChatGPT subscription. Well, it's technically more expensive than the $20 subscription, but it does way more. Now, Telegram isn't perfect. Let me be honest about the downsides. First, bot chats are not end-to-end encrypted. Regular Telegram chats are, but your bot conversation goes through Telegram servers. If you're putting sensitive financial info or passwords through this, think twice. For me, my notes are just thoughts and ideas, not much to steal. Second, the markdown is basic. No fancy tables. You can work around it by having the agent convert tables into images, but I don't bother. Third, message length limits. Long responses get split into multiple messages. And unlike ChatGPT, where text streams out word by word, Telegram waits for the full response and sends it all at once. So you wait a bit longer than you're used to. But honestly, once you get used to it, none of these are deal breakers. So that's my setup. The self-hosted AI in my pocket, everywhere I go, talking to me through Telegram. It's not perfect, but it's way better than what I had before. And if I run into something new, I'll probably make another video about it. If you got something out of this, please leave a like and subscribe. If not, watch another one. See you next time.